Hi, my name is Sasha Rodriguez. I am 18 years old and I attend Yonkers International Baccalaureate. Baccalaureate. I know I said yo.
The Olympic Games have been around since 1896. Over the last century, we've seen the competition grow in diversity of competitors, variety of sports, and overall popularity around the world. But for the first time in history, karate will be making its debut as an Olympic event in the upcoming 2020 Olympics in Japan. As a result, competition within the sport is heating up as athletes are training relentlessly for a shot at the Olympic gold in Tokyo. Hours upon hours are spent training in the dojo, as athletes are also emptying their pockets to hire coaches and to attend competitions. One of these determined athletes is a classmate of mine.
Hi, my name is Sasha Rodriguez. I am 18 years old and I attend Yonkers International Baccalaureate World High School. I live here in Yonkers, New York. I train here at Guerrero Martial Arts Karate School. I'm an athlete as well as a student, and I am now an assistant instructor. So I started karate when I was around 7 years old. The reason why I started karate in the first place would be because my father and we were really big on watching Kung Fu movies.
As a kid, I used to watch Kung Fu movies at Channel 5, back around 3 o'clock. You know, you have the Saturday morning cartoons, and in early afternoon you had the Shaw Brothers Kung Fu movies. So that stayed with me, and of course a lot of people in my generation just was growing up watching Kung Fu movies. And then with Sasha, I still watch Kung Fu movies every once in a while, and I had her watch it with me.
And it was kind of cool, you know, just watching them, and we would stay up for hours just imitating the movements, even play fighting sometimes. And that's one of the best memories I have of my childhood, I would say, especially one with my father. Then after that, he kind of saw that I was really interested in it, and he decided to, you know, enroll me into a karate class.
Sasha was about 7 years old, and we took her to do some after-school activities. It was swimming and karate. And she came to G Dojo, where she really started doing karate. She was really hyper and wanted to go. She found that she really had a passion for it.
Karate for me was just a hobby. It was something to do and something to, you know, spend time, you know, with other kids my age.
As a child, yeah, she was dedicated, but not as she is now. Now she's just like focused, just has her goals just set and follow them, just like really working hard, you know. So I'm very proud of her. It makes me very proud that I stuck with her, and not that I'm the perfect parent, but made sure that she kept her head focused and not sway.
My name is Guerrero. I'm the sensei of the school. I'm Sasha's primary instructor. Sasha is a very remarkable student, exceptionally talented. I've noticed that from the minute she walked into my dojo, and we've been together ever since, trying to become world champion.
She was the first one up. Always the first to do stuff, last to leave, everything. She's the most determined out of all of us, I think. She has her goals set. I know that. You can, by the way she trains, even by the way she talks to you, you can tell. Well, first of all, we're all a big family here, right? But when it comes to training, sometimes we're a little too relaxed. But when we need to, we always look to Sasha. She always puts her foot down, and she's straight with us, and she tells us she tells us when we need to relax, and when we have to get straight focused. She always steps up to the plate. She glues us together.
Kind of like realized that we were destined to do good things together as a sensei, a coach, athlete, student. And then we started figuring out what we needed to do, because every athlete is special, and you have to learn when to push, when not to push. What I'm thinking as a coach, you may not be thinking as an athlete. So then as adults, I walk away, and then we come back and do what I want anyway.
So at the age of maybe 14, I made the decision that competing was something that I definitely wanted to do. And my intentions were not to compete. I never even knew national teams existed. I never knew nationals existed or even world championships. I didn't know any of that. I just thought, hey, it's a karate tournament. So I was actually, ever since then, there's never been a doubt in my mind, ever. Like, there are times where it is hard because I am still a developing athlete. And it was harder for me because I started later in the style. Yeah, so when I was around 11, I started competing, and it was very bad.
Learning. It's a big learning process. It's like if you go to college and then after college they tell you got to go get a master's, and after the master's you got to go get a doctorate. Well, we're in that transition period of still finishing college. When you see her perform, and before I used to get really nervous because she would always slip or something would break, and then there would be an injury that would keep her off the mat for a while, but that happens with all athletes. And now I don't get nervous. I just know what to expect. You know, if you fall, okay, we come back and we do the tournament next year. And that's a long process, but you know, you have to have really, I call short-term memory, and just like, okay, we move on and we'll come back next time.
For karate to be in the Olympics, I would say it's definitely, first of all, it's a huge relief because we've been waiting for that for maybe the longest time. Because they did tell us, okay, it's a possibility. It's definitely on the table. So then we had to wait a couple of months until we were told whether it was confirmed. So you're thinking, okay, it's a possibility. And then you're waiting for the day where they're like, you're waiting in anticipation for the day where they tell you, and you're expecting, because for years they've been saying, rejecting it. No. So you're like kind of hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. You understand? Because they did, prior to this acceptance period, there was a time where they were like, all right, well, it's a possibility, but it's probably gonna be shot down. So you're already thinking, okay, it's gonna get shot down. It was shot down before for 2020. So what makes it think it's gonna happen now? And for me, that's kind of how I was. I was like, well, they already shot it down once when we proposed it for 2020. And now all of a sudden now it's proposed again for 2020. It's probably not gonna happen. They're just gonna do it again. So when it did get confirmed, it was a huge relief. It was like, wow. Then it became like surreal. Like, this isn't happening because a lot of, like I said, for a long time you've been shot down, that it's finally there, and then for it to actually happen is like, whoa, this is actually happening. This is reality now. This isn't a dream. You go to these other competitions, these international competitions, and you're like, whoa, I get to see this. I get to see the world champions, and the medalists go on the stage, and they're like, the spotlight is on them, and everybody's watching. And when people do kata, it's dead quiet. There's no cheering until the end. So you know there's a lot of, like, everybody's looking to see if you're gonna mess up. But I went and I didn't even think about whether these people were looking at me. I was thinking, this is who I'm supposed to be. And so now you're really put to the test, and you may even be competing against your own teammate, because how you do at these Premier Leagues determines on whether or not you get selected from your own federation, from your own country, whether you get selected to go to Worlds, to the Olympics, or wherever it is that you need a selection. You know, kind of like think that it's a game. It's not. It's serious. And so in order for me to do that right now, I need to get first the dual citizenship in order to get my residency. After that, I need to acquire funding, because, you know, it's kind of absurd for working middle class, the working poor family, as people here are. We're working poor. There is no real middle class. There's working poor. There's less than middle class, but we're not poor. You understand? So it's kind of hard for these middle class families to drop $3,500 on their child to go travel to Japan. Not even to just to compete, just to train. Just drop that money like they have it in their bank accounts. You know, in nationals, $1,500. So then you'd have to spend another $5,000 on just going to junior Pan Ams, and then you're expected to spend another 15, or not even 15, maybe 10 grand for you and a parent to go to junior Worlds. And it's not easy. That's all within a span of 3 months, 4 months consecutive. So 1 month July, next month August, and then maybe 1 month break, and then the next month you have to start getting ready for competition for Junior Worlds. So that's a lot of money just on its own for 3 months. So imagine doing that plus all the Premier Leagues, which are all, by the way, in Europe or in the Middle East. None on this side of the world.
She has a GoFundMe. She has her SashaAthletics.com, which is her own website. She also have products that she sells that can contribute to her fundraising. And anyone that just wants to give a donation can always just donate that way too.
I'm doing is for the first 2 years, I go to community college. I have a scholarship for that. I have a 4.0 GPA, I can do that. So that saves money. Right after that, I'm going to go to Dominican Republic for medical school. That saves even more money and even more time because it's an American certified school. And with a dual citizenship, the prices are discounted even more. And hopefully as a competitor for that country, it would be discounted even more than that. And I'll just be training over there.
And she pretty much is the hardest working student I have, definitely. So I'm sure she's going to be fine. With luck is on our side, we're at the Paris Open 2018. And that's going to be big. That's going to be, whether we get at the first round, second round, and that's a home run for us to get out of the first round. And from that point on, then it's open the gates and we're running. And hopefully 2020 is our goal.
She wants to go as far as competition-wise, worlds, travel to train with certain athletes. Us as parents, we're willing to do what we can.
I mean, I look around, I see a lot of kids that have no guidance, no support, and on the streets, so it's a blessing. Well, we want to see her go all the way. We're doing everything that we can. She have a great support system, with her parents, her sensei. It's really the big supporters, and we're trying to get other supporters now, but we do want to see her go all the way.